Welcome everyone to this CELPIP Speaking Part 3 Describing a Scene Analysis. Here I am in the CELPIP Library in the Speaking Part 3 section. And before we get started on today's analysis, I do want to remind you that Speaking Part 3 focuses mostly on CLB 4 to 6. What does that mean? Well, it means that if you need to get CLB 4, 5, or 6, then you need to do very well in this part. Why? Because you can do well. This is a lower complexity question, and it's easier to answer, and the language you have to use is not so difficult, okay? So that's why it's important for lower levels. Now, for higher levels, it means that you can't really show that you are 7 or higher by answering part 3, okay? It's totally different than answering part 1, 6, or 7. That's because the complexity of this question is much lower, and you should answer this question very easily, okay? That's what it means for higher levels. So, of course, you have to do well in all parts for higher levels, but you can't really show that you have much knowledge just by answering part 3, okay? Now, also, I do want to remind you about this tips and strategies video for part 3. This video will give you some more details of some tips you can use for answering the question and some good strategies for providing a good response. Some of the tips and strategies that I will be using actually. And so you can watch that video and I will leave a link in the description box to that video. Okay? So now everyone, let's get started with today's analysis called the lunchroom. Okay? So then, here we are in the front page, and everyone, this is a CLB 5 to 6 sample. So we are going to be writing and analyzing a 5 to 6 sample, okay? And so we're going to go to the question practice over here. Question practice. I will speak more about the other parts after, okay? So then, here we are. Part 3, describing a scene. Preparation time 30 seconds. Speaking time 1 minute. Lots of time, yes. Describe some of the things happening in this picture as well as you can. The person with whom you are speaking cannot see the picture. Okay, everyone. So, this question always says the same, okay? Always, this question will say this exact wording, okay? So then, about some of the tips and strategies that we can use for this question, all right? Well, everyone, for this part, because it is a picture that should be familiar, that's why this part, like I said earlier, is 4 to 6, because the picture is usually a common picture. For example, here in the lunchroom or staff room, okay? Also, it's very common what we see. Many things in here should be common for level 5, 4, 5, 6, okay? And then the other part that's very important is using present continuous, okay? This is a low-level grammar point or a beginning grammar point. So that's why this question should not be difficult. So we need to use present continuous to describe the people's actions, okay? So we are going to do that. And then, of course, we need to try to organize. We will be doing that as well. And we need to try to speak for under 1 minute. Okay? Very important. And provide a complete response. How do we organize? Well, the best way to organize, which I will be doing, is introducing the question and then to really say exactly which part you are talking about in the foreground or front of the picture, in the middle, in the background, or in the back. Right here, the foreground, the middle, and the back. We want to organize that. I'm going to say on the right, on the left. This will make our answers sound very well organized, okay? And we will be doing that. So then, everyone, let's start by answering the question, where is this picture taking place? Where is it happening? Okay, so this picture is taking place at the lunchroom of a security company. So it looks like a security company because these people here, they are security guards. So, and it looks like they are eating lunch. So at the lunchroom of a security company. Okay, very good. Now let's remember that the blue, it's going to be structure, something we can use all the time. Okay, so next, let's try and focus on the people and let's just say what the people are doing or what kind of people are there. So let's see here. What's a good sentence? There are 6 workers doing different activities at the moment. So we can say here there are six people. Mhm. 6 people. We can say there are 3 men and 3 women. Okay, so we can just want to change this here to whatever kind of people we see. Okay, very good. I'll put here 6 workers because it's a lunchroom, right? Very good. So we started very well. We answered, where are they and what kind of people? Okay, and doing different activities, right? We can use that sentence all the time. Okay, so let's get to now. We said we want to organize. We're going to get to the foreground or the front right over here. Okay, in the foreground at the lunch table, a female worker is eating a sandwich. Right here. A female worker is eating a sandwich. Right here. Across from her, a woman's drinking coffee and reading a magazine. Across from her, a woman's drinking coffee and reading a magazine. Very good. So, now let's focus on the sentence again. In the foreground, or we can say in the front, whichever is easier for you. In the front, in the foreground. Okay? And then let's not forget, we need to use present continuous. Is eating. A female worker. Or we can say a worker, it doesn't have to be female. Okay? A female worker, a woman is eating. Anything we can say to describe this lady, a woman, a female worker, a worker. Okay? And then again, across from her, again, is drinking. Now, over here, we used short form. A woman's drinking coffee. A female worker's, we can say that one here. It just sounds not as good. Okay? drinking coffee and reading a magazine. Great. So present continuous, very important. So now let's get to the middle over here. Okay, let's start with on the left. In the middle on the left, two men are talking. Two men are talking. One is getting, so short form, one's getting. So two men, one man, we can say one man or we can say one is getting a snack, and the other one, and the other man or the other one is drinking coffee. So two men are talking. One is getting a snack and the other one is drinking coffee. Just focusing here. Okay? Now, what about on the right? And on the right, a security guard is writing his schedule. Exactly. So we said two men are talking, one's getting a snack, the other one's drinking coffee. On the right, a security guard is writing the schedule. So we said many words already. Man, worker, security guard, female worker, woman. We want to try to focus on that vocabulary, okay? And now we're just going to get to the back or the background. In the background, in the right corner of the room, a woman is taking a nap. Okay. In the right corner, right here, left corner, right corner, a woman's taking a nap right over here. Very important to use again present continuous. And I said a woman's, it would be better to use short form. Better to use short form, everyone. Okay. So, everyone, let's analyze. We've got a very good answer here. Very good answer. First, why? Very well organized. Okay, where is it? How many people in the foreground or front, in the middle, in the back? Very well organized. Two, we're using the right grammar. Present continuous. Okay, present continuous. We need to focus on what the people are doing. Okay, not what I see a clock, I see a board, I see some posters. No. Okay. What the people are doing. This is the important part. Okay. And when we're talking about what the people are doing, we always use present continuous. And that's what we did. And again, using short form is very good. Okay? But you can also say long form. It's not that, well, it's better to say short form, but we can use it to show that we know. Okay, in the last part, we've got some really good ideas. We've got at the lunch table, eating a sandwich, across from her. This should be a connector, so it should be in blue. Okay. And on the right. Very good. So the last part, of course, is we need to read it and speak it in 1 minute. Or we need to speak it in 1 minute. Okay? And when we speak it, we need to have good flow and good intonation. And that means slowly, clearly, and continuously. Okay? So I'm going to do that for you in 1 minute. And while I do it, please, everyone, follow along. Okay? And focus on my flow and intonation. This picture is taking place at the lunchroom of a security company. There are 6 workers doing different activities at the moment. In the foreground, at the lunch table, a female worker's eating a sandwich. Across from her, a woman's drinking coffee and reading a magazine. In the middle on the left, 2 men are talking. One's getting a snack and the other one's drinking coffee. And on the right, a security guard is writing his schedule. In the background, in the right corner of the room, a woman's taking a nap. Okay, very good. So I said it very slowly and clearly for you. I hope that was good. Now, if you can say this answer the way it is, and you say it well, you can get 6, everyone. No problem. Also, if you say it without any errors or with few errors, okay? Level 5, we don't, this is maybe too much for level 5, okay? Could be more than you need, but it's very good practice for you, okay? What do I recommend to practice? Well, to practice, first we need to read it. We need to follow the structure, right? This is very good. You need to learn this kind of sequencing and connecting and structure, okay? Secondly, we need to focus as well on the grammar, okay? Let's focus on present continuous. So while you read it, focus on that. And then let's practice reading it and speaking it in 1 minute. Okay? The more that you do it, the better you will get at it. And lastly, can you speak this all in 1 minute? Just by looking at the picture? Can you do it? If you can, then you are 6. Okay? Because that would be great, and that's the way to test yourself. So for that, everyone, I'm going to be leaving the link in the description box to this question. Okay? I'm going to be leaving that one right there so you can practice it. Let's practice reading and repeating it as many times as possible, okay? Very good. As well, in that link, you will find some really great vocabulary building. These words over here, you can study this word list, and then you can try to find a word. Sometimes the staff like to have a on their breaks. They like to have what? A lunchroom? A magazine? A nap? Oh, a nap! That sounds good. So then you can write it in here. See? Sometimes the staff like to have a nap on their breaks. Period. Okay, this is very good practice for reading and writing and practicing vocabulary. Very, very great exercise for lower levels. And then you can check if you got it correct. Did you get it correct? Oh, yes, we did. There you go. You see, we got 1 correct, 10%. But we need 70%. So very good practice for you, everyone. Great. And also we have over here some grammar building, okay? Okay, we're learning about the present continuous over here. Very good exercise. You can study this sheet, grammar sheet, and you can read it. And then you can do some practice exercises. Here it explains to you what you need to do. She's eating an apple or she's eating an apple. So we need to write one. So number 2, he for a bus over here. waiting. So he's waiting for. He's waiting for a bus. You see? And we write them in. Very good practice for writing and practicing grammar. See here, only got 5%, but we need 70%. Very good practice. Okay, everyone? So I will leave that link in the description box for you to practice those exercises. Okay, and this question. As well, let's not forget about the CELPIP Library. The CELPIP Library has over 50 examples of speaking part 3, which will be great for you lower levels to improve your speaking part 3. If you practice all these, you'll get 6, no problem. Okay, and look at this, because you watched all the video, with discount code CELPIP79, discount code CELPIP79, you can get a 3-month subscription to the CELPIP Library for $10.99 Canadian. Wow, it's $10. It's very, very cheap, everyone. Of course, that's to all the listening parts, all the reading parts, to writing parts, and all of the speaking parts. Over 50 exams. Okay, that's a great, great special, and I strongly recommend it. Let's not forget, everyone, practice makes perfect.